Welcome to this short video in the 5 Minutes of Supervision series. My name is Matthew Links and I'm the Discipline Lead in Medicine at Bond University. I'm speaking to you from the land of the Kombumerri people on the Gold Coast. And today I want to talk about orientation. If there's one critical moment in a clinical placement, it has to be the beginning. You can set the scene for success. So today we're going to go through a few key issues and give some examples of how you might use orientation well. The key characteristics of good supervision apply to orientation. Supervision is primarily a relationship, and we all know first impressions are critical in any relationship. This is your chance to set a welcoming tone, define your expectations. Being learner-centered in orientation means getting to know your students. They're all different. If they're an Olympic swimmer, this is your chance to find out. If they've had another profession before they did medicine, it's important to know. One critical question is to ask them what they want to get out of the term. The next two characteristics set the scene for good feedback on clinical skills. How are you going to gather information? What tasks will you ask them to do? Keep in mind tasks that are meaningful and good for the patients, the team, as well as the students. Who will they get this feedback from? Plan this for success. Role modelling is critical to their learning on placement. So the way you conduct your orientation, roles models kindness, your concern for them reflects a person-centered approach, and your commitment to teaching and learning sends a message. Remember, students look up for you. You can use this as a force for good to role model and inspire them. Being learner-centered maximises what students get out of the term. If you can align what they want to get out of the placement with what you want to provide for them, it will go well. It's also important to remember students bring a lot of diversity to the placement. They bring their own expectations, which may be wrong, different levels of previous learning, differences in extracurricular activities. We've had students who are professional footballers and merchant bankers, and they may bring a disability or diversity in the background for them that's helpful for you to understand. A conversation that helps you to get to know them starts at orientation. Now, a key step in orientation is setting expectations. Be explicit about what you expect, particularly in terms of attendance and participation. Tell them what success looks like, what will make them good in training assessment, and make your personal preferences explicit. If you like your presentations using the ISPAR format, say so. If you hate students using phones, say so. If you love them looking up and reporting back their findings on their phone, say so. Developing learning objectives is a shared task, but students don't often have a strong idea about what to get out of the term. They need your help. So it's helpful to think about what the opportunities are in terms of population, caseload, and expertise. For example, Shakira is a cardiologist who's a real expert in transcatheter valve procedures, and she can identify unique opportunities that occur with this placement and can prioritise some learning objectives that would be hard to do on another term. Hearing lots of murmurs is a real opportunity. And it's important to think broadly about what opportunities are and to include a health and society perspective that covers prevention, promotion, health advocacy, equity, and planetary health. For example, a placement with a large migrant population might be a real opportunity to learn about language as a barrier to care. Similarly, keep a lookout about professionalism that they can learn, such as communication, teamwork, ethical dilemmas, quality improvement in person-centered care. For example, Sam gets his students to do a discharge summary and then models a process of reviewing for person-centered care and continuous improvement. One structure for orientation I find useful comes from Dartmouth. It structures orientation around who the people are, what responsibilities, expectations, opportunities are there, when stuff happens, where it happens, and why this placement is important, and then finally how to learn in this clinical environment. One important part of orientation is think about well-being. Be explicit about your concern. Give some practical tips or highlight a favoured well-being recipe. Set up some safety nets with permission to be vulnerable and local supports. So to summarise, a good start is the key to any relationship. It's an opportunity to listen and give direction. Address the who, what, where, when and why. Set out expectations is key. Make sure you include professionalism, health, society and well-being in the mix. Identify the opportunities for feedback and use this as an opportunity to motivate and inspire. I hope this was a helpful guide to clinical orientation. Here are some journal resources you might find useful. Good luck, and may your orientations be good ones.